Dirty dealings, corporate battles, consumer wars. This is Evening 5. The Federal Court has unanimously decided that home buyers cannot rely on the Ang Ming Lee decision as a carte blanche to claim damages for purported late delivery of the property, despite the fact that an extension of time was granted by the government before the sale and purchase agreement was signed. The Apex Court was addressing the applicability of the case to the present appeals of home buyers against developers Prema Bonanza and Sri Damansara. In the 2020 Ang Ming Lee case, the Apex Court decided that the minister could not empower the controller of housing to grant developers extensions of time in respect of the deadline to hand over housing properties. Today, the Federal Court decided the Ang Ming Lee ruling is only applicable prospectively and not retrospectively. This is because it would make the extension of time granted to developers illegal within the meaning of the law and enable home buyers to enjoy further financial gain as well as potentially lead to administrative chaos. The court noted that the home buyers in the present cases had already agreed to receive payments of liquidated ascertained damages or LAD from the developers, but then took the matter to court to pursue more. It dismissed the home buyers' appeals. The government is set to open up third-party access to Malaysia's electricity grid with the launch of the Corporate Renewable Energy Supply Scheme or CRES from September, focusing on green electricity supply. According to a statement by the Energy Transition and Water Transformation Ministry, this means corporations can negotiate pricing directly with a renewable energy power plant for the supply of green electricity. It did not, however, elaborate on the charges that will be imposed for third parties to access the grid. The ministry said the program will be open for new renewable energy power plants, focusing on those that are able to provide firm output, with higher access charges on those without firm output. On the consumer side, it is open for new medium and high voltage corporate customers. For existing electricity customers, the program only covers additional power demand. There must be direct electricity connection through the grid between the power plant and the customer. Meanwhile, Tenaga Nasional will continue to supply power both during and outside green energy generation times. The program is expected to de-risk and reduce costs of national electricity supply and provide a fair opportunity for healthy competition among green energy developers. AirAsia X said it will be directly acquiring Capital A's aviation business without setting up a new company for the purpose, as announced earlier under an internal reorganization to expedite the takeover. In a filing with the local bourse, AAX said the decision to abort the proposed internal reorganization was arrived at after weighing potential benefits of the proposed internal reorganization against time required for the implementation of the proposed internal reorganization and, more critically, the importance of an expedient completion of the proposed acquisition to the AAX Group. AAX had proposed to acquire the aviation business under AirAsia and AirAsia Aviation Group for 6.8 billion ringgit. It said it will be issuing new shares worth 3 billion ringgit to acquire AirAsia Aviation Group. As for AirAsia, AAX proposed to acquire it for 3.8 billion ringgit, to be satisfied by assuming 3.8 billion ringgit of some 3.83 billion ringgit worth of debt owed by Capital A. AAX said it now plans to grant Garanma Investments, the vehicle of former AAX director Dato' Lim Kian On, the rights to subscribe to 12% of AAX's enlarged share base immediately after the completion of the acquisitions. This is a reduction from the 15% proposed previously. Shares in AAX ended 6.2% higher at 1 ringgit 55 cent, valuing the company at 692.96 million ringgit. Meanwhile, Capital A shares closed up 3.7% at 84 cent, giving the group a market capitalization of 3.62 billion ringgit. Kucingko, the country's first listed animation studio, ended its debut on the ACE market with a 90% gain. The counter opened at 80.5 cents this morning, a 168% surge from its offer price of 30 cents a piece. At the closing bell, the stock stood at 57 cents per share, valuing the company at 286 million ringgit. Friday's pop follows strong demand during its IPO. The public tranche was oversubscribed by 99.02 times. New shares set aside for eligible persons as well as to select investors were also fully taken up. An offer for sale of existing shares was also fully placed out. Of the proceeds of 30 million ringgit from the new shares, it allocated 17.77 million ringgit for capacity expansion, 4.38 million ringgit to set up a sales office in the US, 4.26 million ringgit for working capital, and the remaining 3.6 million ringgit for defraying listing expenses. Kucingko derives almost 100% of its revenue from providing animation production services, primarily in international markets including North America, Europe and the Asia Pacific. It produces 2D animation for animated series and animated short films, having completed 59 projects worth 63.22 million ringgit in total from 2020 to June 2023, with nearly 77 hours of content. Datasonic Group has secured a 30 million ringgit contract to supply smart cards to Indonesia's state-owned Perum Percetakan Negara Republik Indonesia or PNRI. In a statement today, Datasonic said that its unit, Datasonic Technology Indonesia or DTI, has signed a sale and purchase agreement with the units of the Indonesian Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises to supply smart cards over a period of 1 to 3 years. DTI President Director Azwan Omar said the collaboration is crucial for positioning Datasonic as a strategic partner of PNRI and will mutually benefit both parties in Indonesia's rapidly growing smart card industry. He said sharing expertise in security printing and smart cards benefits both countries and is essential for economic recovery and growth after COVID-19. Datasonic's largest shareholder is Urus Harta Jamaah, a wholly owned entity of Minister of Finance Inc. Datasonic shares closed unchanged at 49.5 cents, giving it a market capitalization of 1.47 billion ringgit.